The Sepang circuit is a pretty good race. It's probably one of the most physical Grand Prix of the year due to the humidity. It's almost like 100% humidity there, and the race is quite long. You feel there's a lot of high-speed corners, so you feel a lot of G-force, quite a long circuit as well. And so racing in those environments and those climates is incredibly tough. And so I think one of the races I had in 2007, my drinks machine stopped working, and I lost like 4 kilos in the race. So I was destroyed after the race. But so that one's probably one of the most mentally draining, and the preparation is even more crucial for that Grand Prix. Yeah, the great thing in Sepang is that you have long straights and great opportunity for overtaking. So it's a great race for people to watch, and a great race to participate in, because you have quite a lot of opportunity if you're not at the front to make some moves and have some fun. When it rains in Sepang, it probably rains. It's just like nowhere else. It literally is a tropical thunderstorm, and there's lightning, and you see it coming, and it starts on one part of the circuit, and the other part will be dry. Half of the circuit will be wet and half the circuit will be dry. So one of the races we had there, it was incredible. And then once it did flood, it flooded pretty much the whole circuit, and there's rivers coming across the circuit, and the car just does not go well on those kind of conditions, especially when you start dry with a dry setup. When it rains, you need to usually raise the car and change the setup of the car, but you can't. So you do a pit stop, put the wet tires on. The car is still low, so the car begins to aquaplane, begins to it doesn't let the airflow continue underneath the car, so it gets blocked, and so you just aquaplaning and sliding everywhere. It's very, very tough. But then when you go to Malaysia, the people are incredibly warm, welcoming. The food is great where we stay, and it feels like it's one of the raw Grand Prix, and it feels like you are it feels like a real tropical Grand Prix. And we don't really have many, if any, real tropical Grand Prix, and it feels like you're really in. They've built the track almost in the jungle, almost, around. And it's got great history. I think it's got great history with great drivers winning it in the past. So when you get there, it's pretty cool. I don't really usually get to go into KL, so you usually stay at the airport. So it's a little bit different to other circuits where you stay in the city. This one we stay outside the city. But this year I'm staying somewhere different. I get to be somewhere near the beach, which should be good. I don't believe there'll be any shake-ups in Sepang. I think there will be undoubtedly the car generally with the most downforce wins that Grand Prix, and will obviously the most reliability. So, it's going to be very tough to compete with the Ferraris and the Red Bulls as always. But there's quite a lot of competitive teams because you have the long straights. Obviously, high speed. The car with the high speed also can have a chance. Every year you try to pick up points in every Grand Prix, and we definitely try to achieve a certain amount of points over every 2 or 3 Grand Prix. But you arrive at the Grand Prix with a strong mind, with a great concentration, and maybe a good car or bad car, I'm not sure. And the weekend can just plan out. The weather changes, the tire temperature's not right, the brake temperatures are not right, the engine temperature's not right, you're not right. There's so many things that come into play. And so it's a lot more complex than I would say perhaps a golf game when you do 18 holes. Although it's similar, but it's a lot more complex because so many other things are coming into it, and it's over a long weekend. I think I would love to be able to have a strong first part of the season, because generally I get strong in the second half, and we do as a team as well. So that means that we would have a greater opportunity and greater chance of winning the championship.